Blog Talk Radio.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire
LCS Hockey. And we're off. The brass bonanza means that it's time for the LCS Hockey Radio Show, brought to you by LCSHockey.com, the #1 hockey site in all the land, a site so caring that it personally delivers the gonorrhea. Sunday is the 2007 MTV Video Music Awards. Come on, you know you've been waiting for performances from Lil Wayne and Soulja Boy. They're very good. Not to mention that Britney Spears makes her long-awaited comeback with a performance that, according to a Spears insider, is going to be shocking. And helping her out, Chris Angel. Yikes. So tune in Sunday at 9 as Angel makes Britney's fourth chin disappear, all while fixing her kid's teeth and keeping the lip-syncing perfectly coordinated. Sarah Evans of country music and Dancing with the Stars fame is being divorced by husband Craig Schlesky after he suspected her of cheating on him with the likes of Kenny Chesney, Richard Marx, and her dancing partner Tony Dovolane. Evans now must answer to the court under oath if she had an affair/sexual relationship/romantic involvement with Chesney, Marx, Dovolane, or any member of the band Three Doors Down. Wow, she's just one Michael Bolton away from a complete who's who of suck. You would think being voted sexiest man alive, George Clooney could have any chick he wanted. But the Cloonster likes to keep it real and has been recently seen in public with actress/cocktail waitress/Fear Factor champion Sarah Larson. The two lovebirds met at the premiere of Ocean's 13 and have been nothing but puppies and candy canes ever since. When asked about her newfound love, Miss Larson commented that George tasted better than pig testicles. And Joe Rogan. We got a monster show planned for you tonight as we actually have a celebrity guest. This ain't no 7 of Club's reporter Jim Iovino. Nope, it's a real flesh and blood guest. From Dave Dameshek Sports Contraption, the one, the only, Popeye the Producer will be joining us tonight. Why would he want to do this show, you ask? I don't know either. We may delve into whether or not the Ed is a real guy, plus Popeye's unnatural talent of getting into celebrity photos. He may even want to help us out and tell us how to make this show more than just unlistenable. If you want to call the show and talk to Popeye, the number is 646-716-7522, or Holmes 1, Mr. Lab. All right, let's get this thing over with. Joining me now is the 3-time runner-up in the Thinnest Man Alive contest, LCS Hockey Editor-in-Chief, Mike Dell.
Jerry Farish. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on there, Mike?
Yeah, we got a big show tonight. Like you said, we have a nice guest lined up. And once again, for the people who don't know, Dave Dameshek Sports Contraption was the official radio show of LCS Hockey. It was my favorite radio show of all time. I think it was just, I always thought that if LCS had a radio show, and, maybe someday we will, it would be the Sports Contraption. Like that was, it covered, Dave was a hockey fan, he was a good guy, but he talked TV, talked movies. It was a real entertaining time. Now, Jerry, you didn't really listen to the Contraption that much, did you?
No, I never did.
Yeah, that's really on you.
It's still my all-time favorite show, too, though.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. So the Contraption, it wasn't on the air long, maybe like 3 months, but I want to try and keep the memory of it alive. So we're doing our part. We're doing what we can. And tonight we have a great guest tonight, Ryan Saylor, who produced Dave Dameshek's Sports Contraption, but most people know him as Popeye. Popeye, are you there, my friend?
Michael, Jerry, love the show.
Yeah, see, no one's ever said that before, so thanks, buddy.
Well, there you go.
Can I ask you to turn your radio down, please? Sorry. But anyway, Popeye, thanks for coming on the show.
What's happening?
I appreciate it. And, well, let's start at the beginning. How did you get involved with Sports Contraption? Were you working at, we should say it was on 93.7 The Zone in Pittsburgh. So you were working there before Dave came on board? Is that how that worked?
Yeah, that's correct. I was working there as a board op, and one day the program director approached me and said that they were looking to do a evening sports show with a yet-to-be-determined host. He asked me if I was interested in producing it. I said, yeah. And then one day they called me in and said, it's going to be Dave Dameshek, and here's his phone number. So we chatted on the phone a little bit, briefly. He was on the way to the hospital, actually, the first time I talked with him. His wife was very pregnant with baby Lemieux Crosby. And they were on the way to the hospital, not to have the baby, but just to get checked up on and everything. So that was my first introduction to Dave Dameshek. He was racing down the Los Angeles highway towards the hospital to take care of his beautiful bride, Cindy.
Now, how long were you in the radio business up to this point?
I've been in a couple years. I graduated undergraduate from Westminster College in the bustling metropolis of New Wilmington, Pennsylvania. In 2002, did a little bit of board op work, production, which is doing spots, commercials, stuff like that, as well as promotional stuff, getting out and giving radio station swag to people and whatnot. Basically, the Sports Contraption was my first real since college taste of the big time, as it were, and it was a lot of fun. It was still hopefully won't peak with that job, but it's definitely top of the list thus far in a professional career. So.
Yeah, your first time up and you hit a home run with the Sports Contraption. It was magical. It was a great run. Now, when did it start? It was like the end of March, first week of April, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it was the first week of April, and we ran it to the including the first week of July. It was 13 weeks in all, 60 shows total. When you count for holidays and Dave's time off for the baby being born and whatnot, so we had 60 shows, and as I said during our last broadcast on July 6th, kind of like the sports supernova. Basically, we burned brightly but briefly, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it seems hard to believe it was only doesn't it seem like years ago that it ended? And it's like 2 months ago.
It does. I just saw that the other day, and it's only been 2 months, but it does seem like a lot longer than that. Too much longer.
Yeah, it freaked me out. Now, see, I got to listen to it. I used to hold a go-nowhere menial job at a local university. I used to drive a shuttle van around at night, and so I got to listen to the show every night, and that's why I became a fan. And I was lucky enough to hear the very first broadcast. And it was
that was a unmitigated disaster.
Oh no, it was great. I loved it. I knew as soon as I heard that first show, I was like, "Yep, this is the official radio show of LCS Hockey. I have to make this happen." And I emailed Dave and I said, "Would you like to be our official radio show?" And he's a great guy. I said, "Sure," and that started it all. But I seem to recall that first night there were some technical issues, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, that's putting it kindly and mildly. I definitely, both of us, we're learning as we went along. Neither one of us had really done a show like that before. So, I mean, the further along we got, the more comfortable we became, and the more fun that we had, and we were really hitting our stride there towards the end. So.
Yeah, that's the sad thing about it. We'll get to that a little bit later. But in those early days, we should mention that Dave was broadcasting from Jimmy Kimmel's basement in Los Angeles.
Yeah, Jimmy
had to
Kimmel
complicate.
he has a guest room in his basement garage area that also doubles as a recording studio. So he's got all the broadcasting equipment and whatnot in there, and he was kind enough. Dave, as some people might not know, is a writer for Jimmy Kimmel, writes on his show then and does again now. So Jimmy was kind enough to let Dave do the show from there the first couple months of its existence. So.
And it was actually Jimmy Kimmel who gave you the nickname Popeye.
Yes, it was actually. Well, the nickname Popeye originated, to be fair, back in junior high. With a name like Ryan Sailor, it was only a matter of time until someone linked the Sailor with the Popeye the Sailor, and I became Popeye for a while in junior high school. It went away for a few years when I was in college. People got, more creative and with their nicknames for me and whatnot. But yeah, when exactly. And eventually, Kimmel's first appearance on the show, first of two appearances for him on the show, Dave informed him of my name, and he informed Dave that he thought that Popeye would be a great moniker for me. So it stuck, and I don't mind it at all. I mean, it's sketchy. It lets me stand out from other people. I haven't heard of too many other radio personalities going by the name of Popeye. So I was more than happy to roll with that.
Yeah, and here I thought all along, Kimmel just came up with a bang, and that was the first time I ever heard. But you've been used to it since childhood, apparently. So
yeah, no,
you don't mind people calling you Popeye?
No, not at all. I mean, of course, with it getting its start in junior high, it of course at the beginning brought back sorts of horrible and horrific memories and traumatizing situations and locker rooms and but
you don't want to hear anymore.
I don't want to say anymore.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, eventually that passed away, and the name stuck with the show, which is a very much more desirable and preferable memory for me to link it to.
Now you became somewhat of a celebrity because of the contraption.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's I've always had a small amount of fame in my life.
I did not know that.
Yeah, actually, I invented a robot when I was in third grade. My dad
really?
made a robot, and if you remember the Kids in a Minute segment from USA Today or from USA Network.
No, I do not. Jerry, do you remember that?
No.
Yeah. Kids in a Minute, and they
yes, absolutely, I remember.
All right. They did the different things with the kids, and
right,
so,
yeah,
a little 30-second segment or minute and a half or whatever. But anyway, film crew came out and filmed me and my robot, and so I was kind of used to the trappings of fame and notoriety, but
obviously,
but the contraption took me to new heights. I mean,
what did your robot do? Like, what was it?
Oh. It was made entirely of recycled parts, and it had the body of a microwave and the wheel system. It rolled around on wheels from one of those power riding kids, little Jeep mechanisms, and it had a beer keg for a head, and
nice.
Had moving eyes, it could talk and roll around, and remote control, and it was thrilling. It was breathtaking.
Well, here's the question now: where'd you get the beer keg in third grade?
Yeah, that's always nice when you see the third graders building robots out of beer kegs.
Well, for one thing, my robot blew everyone else's away. It wasn't even a contest after that, and my dad helped me a lot with a lot of the electrical and technical expertise and know-how. I mean, in third grade, I wasn't quite the genius that I am today, but close. But no, he helped me a lot with that, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, the contraption. I mean, once I started doing the show, it was people came out of the woodwork to let me know that they were fans of the show. Barely a day would go by without somebody, either calling in or sending emails or coming up to me on the street, recognizing me, which is kind of rough when you think about it. I mean, people recognizing you from radio by your appearance, but it was that kind of a magical type of show, and things like that happen quite frequently. So.
Yeah, at the time, Dave actually he made it a goal to get pictures of you with celebrities. He wanted to have the paparazzi.
Yes, he did coin the term paparazzi, which was very catchy. He didn't tell me anything about his plan beforehand. He just said he had something in mind that was going to be a lot of fun. And I didn't know that he meant it was going to be a lot of fun for him and everyone else, and maybe kind of harassing for me.
Yeah, sorry about that, because it was fun for me as well. I took it upon myself to organize the paparazzi, and we caught you in several unusual circumstances.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, when you live the kind of life that I do, I mean, thankfully you only caught me at few of my my more vulnerable moments. But no, there was there was the Jenna Fisher incident, which even now as she broke up from her husband, I hope I'm not responsible for that.
Yeah, I think originally the first instance of the paparazzi, they caught you with Lindsay Lohan.
Yes, that's true.
And we'll put all these pictures up on LCShockey.com so everyone can enjoy them. But Lindsay Lohan, and you just see how her life has spiraled out of control since she was linked to you. You know? Yeah,
it's uncanny somehow how once people become linked with me, things get crazy for them. I mean, it's kind of that way for Dave as well. His much publicized and ballyhooed incident of sitting next to Jessica Alba at the Super Bowl.
That was one of Dave's favorite stories to tell, how he got to sit next to Jessica Alba at the Super Bowl, and he always said, there were talk that the two were an item. And then here, right after Lohan, not even like a week after you were caught with Lindsay Lohan, a picture surfaces of you and Jessica Alba.
Well, yeah, I mean, when these young starlets want to attach themselves to some guys with some serious media, heavyweight, they go for Dave, and then they invariably go for me afterwards. So,
do you think they knew about the robot? Like, is that why?
I'm not positive, but I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of people that know about the robot as well. So,
after Alba, I think it was Scarlett Johansson, and then I think the paparazzi caught you with some cougars. A couple of
it was B. Arthur and
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, the night on the town there, and that was so some of these situations I don't remember a whole lot of, just because I was fairly inebriated during the majority of them. But hey, you're out having a good time, and I can't control who's out there seeing me and who's out taking pictures, and it's just something that that I had to live with there for a while. It's kind of died down since then, but
you're
out of the spotlight now since probably.
But the one I found most disturbing was Abigail Breslin. Very upsetting to me. I don't even know what that means.
But the last paparazzi shot, as you alluded to earlier, was with you and Jenna Fisher and Rashida. What's her last name? Jerry. Karen on The Office. What's her last? Rashida Jones. Is that it or?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know her last name.
All right. Yeah, but Popeye, because Dave used to have a debate on the show who was hotter, Karen or Pam from The Office.
All right. That's a nice sandwich to be in right there.
Yeah, and Dave always sided with Karen. I think it's obviously Pam.
Oh, it's definitely Pam.
Yeah, and Popeye's the man. He was caught with both of them on film, and so yeah, he's a superstar in my eyes.
He's kind of like Adam Durowitz, who got the Jennifer Aniston and the Courtney Cox.
In a sense, yes, exactly. No, Popeye. After the paparazzi died down a little bit, we should mention you had a ongoing feud with Dave's cousin Brandon. Now, Dave used to bring all his family members onto the show, like as guests, and he'd usually give them all little jobs to do. and Brandon was the music coordinator of the Sports Contraption. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was the music coordinator. He was also the poet laureate of the Sports Contraption. He had kind of a dual function on the show.
How did the feud end? It was like the musical choices. Like Brandon favored, I don't know, he was always a hipster kind of with his music, and you seem to favor how would you best describe it? German techno? I don't know. Would that be the best way to describe it?
On occasion, I prefer to think of myself as someone with broad musical tastes, and I'm open to, the music of the world. I don't like to be discriminatory too much, and I think that's where the whole dispute grew from. Brandon, in my opinion, his stuff wasn't bad. But he did kind of he was kind of snobbish in his taste. He ripped on a lot of the things that I brought to the table, and I mean that's something that I won't stand for. When somebody's somebody is acting that way, I like to take a stand, and I did in that instance.
Yeah, you had to put him in his place. It started a big feud, and he wrote a poem about you. Is that how it started? Like he wrote a poem ripping you, and then
yeah, he did. He did. He unloaded on me, and I at first I didn't want to compete because I didn't think I had anything to prove. But after his first offering, I knew that I had to put him in his place, as you said earlier. And in that second week, the competition, everyone agreed. Everyone that was there, that was listening, I unloaded on him a 3-minute masterpiece of poetry that I created just off the top of my head.
Exactly. That's what I was going to mention. The most impressive part, you just no preparation, right off the top of your head.
And I worked in a lot of sports references, worked in a lot of contraption references. It was, it was beautiful, and I was the consensus victor that week.
I actually have an audio clip we could play. Just a tiny sampling of the poem, and we'll put the whole poem up on our site so everyone can enjoy it. But here, Popeye, let's just listen to a little bit of your poem, ripping Cousin Brandon.
I'm ready to euthanize this pathetic joke, but here's another nail in your casket. Why don't you just crumple up that excuse for a poem and toss it in the wastebasket? Brandon lies bloodied, motionless on the mat, his vapid, empty, insipid brain utterly annihilated by my Category 5 hurricane. The refs count us at 9, I head for my corner to sit. 2 final words for you, Brandon, you moronic jerk. Go spit!
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
That's like 8 Mile right there.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe like 7 Mile. But yeah, it was great. It still is powerful now, hearing it now as it was that night. And, you definitely won that battle.
A high water mark for me on the show. I created that entire thing myself, and they came back the next week, and Dave wanted to continue, and as I told him and Brandon both, I have nothing more to prove. I achieved poetic perfection with that offering, and anything else I would have done would have just been less than that in comparison. So that can stand alone for me for all time as my offering of poetic perfection, and I have no problem. I blew the doors off Brandon, and whether he's willing to admit it or not, really, when it comes right down to it, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, you definitely won that matchup. You retired as champ. But do you remember, I think it was the next week, Dave's buddy David Feeney was on the show?
Oh, yes.
The week after, and he just he crushed Brandon. He totally destroyed him with the poem. I think it was called 2 Times, or How I Banged Brandon's Wife. Was that the official title of it?
Yes. It had the dual title there, and he used my whipping of Brandon for inspiration, but he took it to a whole new level that was truly disturbing and hilarious at the same time. So
what you started, David Feeney finished, and it was
with an exclamation point, without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Have you talked to Cousin Brandon since the show went off the air at all?
I have not talked to him. I sent him an email soon after we closed up shop, and he sent me one back, just kind of burying the hatchet, just for old time's sake. I don't want to go through life with any sort of vendettas or hard feelings hanging over my head. So I just said, thanks for doing all that you did on the show, and he really did a good job, especially with the poems, and especially whenever he was able to focus on the current events aspect of writing poems, about what's happening in the week in sports. I thought he really excelled in that particular forum. But no, we exchanged emails since then, but nothing in the past 6 weeks or so.
Well, it's good to hear you guys have, like you said, buried the hatchet. Now, one of the big features of the show, you guys did it every week. I think it was Tuesday nights, I believe. Dave did the jerk list.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It was Tuesday nights, and Dave, for those who don't know, Dave took a look inside the world every week. A lot of times it was sports, but it didn't always have to be. And kind of unloaded, and I was his marksman in this task to put the jerks of the world back in their place by firing the Han Solo edition blaster on them, and he definitely played the part of Sauron high atop his tower, and just blew away the jerks with my assistance, my marksmanship.
Yeah, the jerk list was always a entertaining bit of the show. And now, if I recall correctly, Popeye, you ran afoul of the jerk list a couple times there.
Yeah, I did, and that's actually a bone that I wanted to pick with you, Michael. You actually put me in as near as I came to the Jerk Hall of Shame. The Jerk Hall of Shame is reserved for people who make the jerk list 3 times without any sort of get out of jerk-free redemption or anything like that. People like Barry Bonds.
I think David Eckstein was in the jerk.
David Eckstein was on there.
Greta Van Susteren.
Greta was on there. Yeah, and The Bachelor made it during our show. He found himself on there 3 times. But it was the one thing the one problem that I have with your behavior in relationship towards the show was the fact that whenever Dave came out here, it was his birthday, the first show that he did out here, and he was in a jolly mood, and I had gotten him a gift certificate, but I hadn't given it to him yet. But Dave was cranky that I hadn't made more of a big deal about his birthday, and then you, Michael, because I don't know, apparently you didn't have money to get him anything, or didn't know what he wanted, or whatever. You felt the best gift to him would be calling up the jerk hotline and nominating me as a jerk. And,
I don't know. I don't remember this. Maybe we can have. Let's see. I think we have an audio clip though. Let's see if this rings any bells.
Dave, this is Michael from Greensburg. I'd like to nominate Popeye as a jerk.
Oh,
my. Forgot your birthday. He keeps giving you a lip. He needs to shut his mouth and know his role. Popeye, you're a jerk.
Yeah. About that.
That was devastating. Anytime you have to turn the blaster on yourself is rough. And I knew that your nomination was would be my third appearance on the jerk list, and I didn't want to go in the Jerk Hall of Shame with all those other guys. It's scary, and then that ended up. I had to think up a quick way out of it, so I called my wife up and had her call in to nominate me for a get out of jerk free card. So I just really squeezed under the wire on that one. But
the amazing thing about that is even after you were caught running around with Jessica Alba and Scarlett Johansson, she still made the call and got you a get out of jerk free card. What a woman!
Yeah, she's a good, and we have that kind of relationship. It's strong enough to weather indiscretions like that.
Yeah, my wife won't even let me watch a Scarlett Johansson movie. And, you're just getting, that's impressive. Sorry about the whole, the jerk was comedic purposes only, Popeye. You know that. We were just doing it for the comedy. That's all.
And I understand completely. It would have been a completely different story if I would have been in the Jerk Hall of Shame right now. I don't know if I could do your show from the Jerk Hall of Shame. It would just be too painful.
Well, I tell you what, we have actually have the Han Solo blaster here as well. So if you want to nominate me for a jerk, you can.
Well, you haven't made the jerk list at all yet, have you? I don't think
no.
You have them.
I actually have a get out of jerk free card. So.
There you go. Well, you'll be able to use it.
Yeah.
No, that was. Well, if you want to turn the blaster on yourself, if you have it there, that would be great. Just to even the score between us and.
All right, Popeye. I'm sorry I nominated you for the jerk list.
Michael, you're a jerk.
That hurts.
It just does sting.
Yeah, it does sting a little bit. But all right, let's put that ugliness behind us. Now, one of the ways we've been honoring the Sports Contraption is Jerry and I have been recreating classic moments from the show, and they always involve the Ed.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure you remember the Ed. Why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about the Ed?
Oh, the Ed. Well, he definitely. He has to be my favorite caller. I mean, he checked in frequently, 2 or 3 times a week. He's an elderly gentleman. I think he was.
Well, he's not that old, is he? I think 54 maybe.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking he was late 50s. Late 50s.
I remember he had the 27-year-old girlfriend, and Dave always said, she's half your age, so around,
He definitely got around, and I think he had 4 or 5 sons from different mothers.
Yeah, I think
one of them was 6 years old or something, and he definitely and he was very opinionated. He was originally from Las Vegas. He did Corolla's show whenever Dave was on Corolla's show from Las Vegas, and then his son, he lived with his son, and his son got a job in Pittsburgh, so he actually moved out here with his son, but very, very opinionated on Pittsburgh, and especially Pittsburgh sports. Of the Pirates, thought that they were the best thing, and despised the Steelers. I think he predicted that this year they'd go 4-12 or 3-13 or some nonsense like that. Always had a disparaging word to say about the Steelers.
Even though the Ed hated the Steelers, he wanted to be the Steelers expert.
He did. He did. That was a point of contention between Dave and the Ed. Dave pointed out that we really weren't looking for a Steelers expert to be someone to come on to rip the Steelers every week. And eventually, towards the end, we had settled on the Ed being an expert on the opposition that the Steelers would face every week. He would hit us with some facts and figures concerning what we could expect from the opponent week to week. But I think that was the way that we were heading, and the Ed. I mean, such good stuff. I mean, there's so many stories. I did hear the one dramatic reading that you guys did the other day. I'm not sure if you touched on yet the whole incident with the baby.
No, that's coming up. Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, that was definitely the most infamous of our encounters with the Ed, as far as response that we got from other people. For the people that don't know, the Ed claimed that a neighbor of his or a woman that he met at the park or something asked him to watch a 6-month-old baby for her, just for an afternoon or a couple hours or something, and then she was going to come back and get him for her. And the Ed took $20 in order to watch this baby, and then the lady never came back. and it was up to the Ed to raise this young baby, and he had questionable methods, to put it kindly.
He was feeding the baby like Twizzlers and Mountain Dew and
salsa and Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah,
just all kinds of craziness, and he wasn't even quite sure what the sex of the child was.
Yeah, it was a baby girl, but he kept calling it him, like he'd say he and.
And we'd ask, what are you calling it? And he'd say, he's going to call it Little Ed or something like that, and we were like, how can that be? Because it's a girl, and he was like, yeah, that's right, he's a girl. And just all sorts of confusing answers to the questions that we had, and we got a huge response from the people of Pittsburgh. Lots of people called up and wanted us to somehow lure him along with the baby down to the station and call the cops and get them involved and get this child taken away from the Ed before serious harm was done. We never ended up doing anything like that, just because, the Ed is a guy who's really, so unstable that who knows what would have happened if we would have tried some sort of double cross like that with him. But it ended up turning out okay. The proper authorities came by and got the child, and then the Ed ended up putting his name into the hat for adopting the child full time, and I think where we ended, I think he was definitely in the running for that, if not already had been awarded that child. So, he was a character, and definitely needed to be taken with a grain of salt. I'm not sure if even he knew all the time if the stories that he was telling were completely true or partially embellished, or what exactly was going on in reality. But definitely solid gold radio guest. Never failed to elicit a chuckle or two from even myself also, and just a really good guy. And I hope sometime down the road I get a chance to meet the Ed, because if he's anything in person like he is on the radio, I'm sure he'd be an entertaining person to hang out with.
Yeah, every time the Ed called the show, it was radio gold. It was must. It was wonderful. Now, Jerry, are you still there, buddy?
I'm here.
Now, you have some thoughts about the Ed, don't you?
Yeah, I think he's just a sketch, a character.
Yeah. You don't believe he's a real person at all, do you, Jerry?
Not really. No, it's too off the wall to be a real guy.
Popeye, set him straight.
The Ed is 100%, to my knowledge, a real guy. He like I said, I'm not sure I'm not sure how much Dave knows. I'm not sure how much if Ed is putting on an act when he calls us. But as far as I know, he's a real guy who may embellish to some extent the stories that he tells, but I believe them all to have a basis in truth and in fact. And there's really no way for me to find out for sure. Like I said, I've never met the guy in person, and Dave would definitely be a person. I heard you talking that he might join the show. He would definitely be a person to clear up all this confusion. I believe that he knows the Ed a lot better than I do. So
yeah, we'll have to talk to Dave about the Ed. But I just think the Ed, he's too good to be fake. Like he has to be. Like no one could write those lines. I don't think.
No, he's absolutely like we both said before, radio gold, and always elicited a response from people, whether it was his disparaging Steeler comments, the lines would light up with people that wanted to talk back to him, or the baby incident, or any of his crazy opinions on women, or kids, or anything. He always used to be good for the show. So
the first recreation we did, it was the one where the Ed referred to women as prostitutional.
Prostitutional?
Yeah, that was great.
He always used to seem to coin words. Every time he was on, he'd create a new couple of words and add to the Ed vocabulary. That'd get people going too. People like to listen to him. He had his own way of saying things.
Yeah, I was actually, right when the show ended there, I was actually getting prepared. I was going to see if you guys wanted me to, like, interview the Ed and, like, do a whole feature story on him. and put it up on the website for you on the Sports Contraption.
Oh, that would have been excellent.
And then the show just ended. The show just ended so abruptly. You know, did you have any warning that it was going away?
I had more of a warning than a lot of people did. Just really what it came down to was misunderstandings between people, between management at our station and Dave, and there was, in my opinion, enough fault and blame to go around for a lot of people, but it ended up coming down to the fact that Dave had a lot, and his wife had a lot of opportunities and have a lot of opportunities to do the kind of stuff that they're interested in doing out there in LA, and coming back here, while it would have been great, and it would have been ideally the ideal situation for Dave at the end of the day. He had to do what was best for his family, and in his opinion, at that time, it was staying out there. And I talk to Dave every once in a while on the phone or email, and I just got an email from him earlier today that he very well might be listening right now. So
I find that hard to believe. I really find it hard to believe. But
he told me he might be, but. Yeah, no, he's a good guy, and it was rough ending it the way that we did. I mean, we did go out with our heads held high, and there was no down in flames kind of thing. So if any sort of opportunity would present itself in the future for us to fire the contraption back up again, I think that's definitely an option still in the minds of everyone concerned. But no, I could see it coming a week and a half before it actually all went down. Just the fact of a couple people working together that weren't really used to working together. I mean, Dave really didn't have any experience in this market, and really this market didn't have any experience with anyone like Dave. I mean, in my opinion, if we would have continued, we could have blown the doors off a lot of sports shows and shows in general around the Pittsburgh market. We had preliminary discussions of taking aim at several well-known shows and trying to skewer them and get into a little tussle with some of the bigger known names around Pittsburgh sports radio. But it didn't end up happening right now. But who knows? Like I said, down the road, anything's possible, and we didn't burn any bridges. So.
Yeah, that would be great if the Contraption could come back on the air, because it really was a unique radio show, and that Dave was, you could just tell he's a good guy, and that he's a fan first. He's never screaming at you. He's just talking to you, And,
absolutely. I mean, that was his thing. That was one of Dave's things. I mean, he always couldn't see how a lot of the other, sport. I mean, you could see how a lot of the other sports people, weren't obvious with their being fans, but he couldn't understand it, and I couldn't really either. I mean, it's one thing to be a reporter and to do stories and to break stories, and if you want to be that kind of person, then that's fine. You should probably be objective. But if you're being a sports commentator, especially in Pittsburgh, I mean, with the kind of passion that this city has for their sports teams. And if you're going to be a commentator on sports in this city, you need to be passionate about the teams. You need to be fans, like you said. You need to immerse yourself in the whole experience, which I mean, in this city is almost like a religion. So.
Yeah, it was just a great show, and we should remind everyone once again that you can actually get podcasts of all the shows at sportscontraption.com, and do yourself a favor and go listen to them. They're really good stuff, very entertaining. And so what are you up to these days, Popeye? You're still on the 93.7 The Zone there? You're still working?
Yeah, I am. Right now, I'm kind of back to doing what I was doing before Dave came around, just board opping at the station, which is basically for those people not in the know with radio terminology, it's basically doing everything in the running of a radio station except for opening up the microphone. I just run the sporting news feed that we have on that time schedule that we used to have the Contraption on. I also do a lot of whenever Scott Paulson or some of the other shows are out doing remote broadcasts, I'll more often than not be the one in the studio running things back from so that they can get out and do their remote broadcasts. I'll be in the studio. So it's a lot of studio stuff, doing some more production again, working, making commercials and spots and stuff like that, and just trying to help out every way I can, and hoping that sometime in the near future the decision will be made to hopefully try to put another show together, and that may or may not happen. I mean, I've heard rumblings, so I'm hoping that it'll happen. It's kind of boring doing what I do now. I mean, doing the Contraption, it was every day something different, somebody different, and it was a wild ride while it lasted, and pretty much anything compared to that is going to be tame. So hopefully something will develop here in the near future. I have a hard time believing that it'll rival the Contraption in its breadth and scope, but it's fun. It's fun doing what I do. It was a blast. Like I said earlier, it was a blast doing the Contraption. So.
Well, rest assured, Popeye, that when the LCS Hockey Radio Show goes big, it will. It surely will. You'll be our producer of choice, my friend.
I would be thrilled. I would love
a phone call. And Pop, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show, buddy, and spending so much time with us. Is there anything else you'd like to plug? Anything else going on in your day, in your life there you want to mention?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if I don't know how much time we have left. I'm not anywhere near a clock or anything.
We got all the time in the world, buddy. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Well, I was thinking of maybe running down my top 3 Contraption moments.
Yes. Go ahead.
If you want. Okay. First of all, would have to be the interview that early on Dave did with Joe Paterno.
Oh, yeah. I do recall that. Now Jerry's a big Penn State fan.
I heard that, and I didn't know if he had heard the Joe Paterno interview or not, but it was very informative, very insightful. Joe Puck, he kind of sounded, a little out there, a little off it.
I think, if I recall correctly, he talked a lot about soup. I think he mentioned soup.
Yeah, he did, and he mentioned of his time he spent in a hollowed-out tree with a sad donkey and a kangaroo and a rabbit, and he also mentioned coming to Pittsburgh and losing a blue shoe.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a shoe involved.
Yeah, and that was some definite radio gold there. It was actually Jimmy Kimmel's brother, John Kimmel, does a good Joe Paterno, so we were able to do that with him, and that was a lot of fun. That was probably number 3 on the list. Number 2, probably the various intern views with intern Erin. She has aspirations of being a sports reporter, and so Dave portrayed several sports figures, and she was able to kind of cut her teeth on in the studio with us and Dave portraying the different famous athletes who always seemed to be fans of the Contraption and of Dave's, and always used to be creepily perverted as well.
Yeah, Dave wanted to get Erin ready to go into the locker room. Like, she had to be ready. She had to be strong. You know, she had to take the tough shots there, the criticisms. And he would. Do you remember some of the athletes? I think he was Fast Willie Parker one time.
He was Fast Willie. He was Big Ben. I think he was Crosby. He was Jason Bay. He was Phil Mickelson.
No, I believe when he was Crosby, didn't he speak with a French accent?
I think he did. It was it was a poor imitation.
Was he also the Ed?
Was he the Ed?
Was he also the Ed?
No, he was not the Ed. Dave was not the Ed.
But I think the Ed, though, one time did contribute as a celebrity. I forget which.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what football player he was. It was a Steeler, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so too. But I know that he helped out also in that segment, which was a lot of fun. And I'm trying to. I mean, especially the times when they were both in studio, when Dave was here in Pittsburgh and Aaron was here also. I mean, both their mics are open, and I'm kind of standing in the background trying to keep from busting out laughing. And that was that was a lot of fun. But my number one is it's tough to pick a top three. They all kind of go together. But I don't know if you guys, either one of you, heard it or not, but the Rory date night, whenever David Feeney's female friend, Rory, came on the show, and she was going on a date later on that night. And Dave wanted to, just like he was trying to help Aaron out with the intern views, he was trying to help Rory out with having guys call in and go on, pseudo dates with her. And she was not interested at all, and even being a sport and playing along, and that made it even funnier. The fact that she was so indignant that she didn't even want to to play along with the little gag that we were, and she really got bent out of shape. But
I remember
we had lots of guys calling in, and Dave would play the waiter, and he would come by, and I would play some mood music, and Dave would come by and take their drink orders, and then they would make small talk. And anyway, she didn't want to do it, so it ended up being a lot of other people. Elaine, the cab driver, did one with David Feeney. David Feeney did one with another guy caller. That was kind of disturbing. But that whole thing, that was one of our best shows and best segments, in my opinion, was that night whenever we had the Rory date night. But
yeah, that was some real awkward radio there for me. Because you couldn't tell like was she really mad or was she just pretending? And she was really mad, huh?
She was floored, and we tried calling her. I think it was either the next day or the next week or something. We tried calling her to apologize, and we did end up getting a hold of her and getting her on the line, and she was not too thrilled to be back on the show again after vowing to never be on the show again.
Wow.
So those are some of my fond memories of the Contraption. I mean, there, like I was saying before, there are countless others, and it was like I said towards the beginning, definitely one of the high points thus far of my professional career. It was a lot of fun throughout, and I appreciate you guys being big fans of the show and carrying the torch, as it were. And I appreciate you having me on the show. It was been a blast for me, and I enjoy listening to you guys. So.
Oh, Popeye, it's our pleasure, buddy. Yeah, we just got to make sure that the people don't forget about the Sports Contraption, because it really was good radio, and if we aspire to be like at least a tenth of what that is, we'll be happy with this little dog and pony show we're doing here.
You guys are well on your way.
Yeah, well, not really, but anyway, Popeye, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show, buddy, and spending so much time with us. I really appreciate it, and good luck with everything else you got going on, and we'll keep in touch. Hopefully we can get you back on the show, at some point in the future. When maybe we can get another show.
I'd love to. Once hockey season gets cranked up, or if you want to talk Steelers or whatever, I'm, just like Dave, I born and bred here and bleed black and gold in all the sports, and Whenever I heard Dave Littleshill get cut the other day, I put a smile on my face because I knew that somewhere Dave was reading that and chuckling, and a lot of things like that happen often. I'll see something and wonder what Dave's take on it would be, and usually I think I can get it pretty close what he would share his feelings about certain things, but no, it was a wild ride, like I said, and wish you guys nothing but the best of luck in your show here and in your future endeavors, and I'd love to stop by and join you, whenever.
Well, yeah, you're welcome anytime, Popeye. And thanks again for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, and good luck to you, buddy. Talk to you later.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys take care.
Thanks, Popeye.
All right, see ya.
Buddy.
Bye-bye.
So there you go, Jerry. Popeye, what a guy, huh? You spent like the whole hour with. I was only hoping, like 20 minutes maybe, but no, the whole hour. What a guy,
That is nice, because I really didn't feel like doing nothing tonight. And
yeah, I know. It was sweet. You got off easy.
Yeah,
but,
we got all kinds of good stories.
Yeah, you made a robot. We learned you made a robot when he was little.
A beer keg, a microwave, a hollow.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Now, when you were in third grade, didn't you win a contest for making a bong? Wasn't that?
Yeah, that didn't work out so good.
Yeah, a little something different. But, yeah, well, in the couple minutes we have left here in the show, we should mention, once again, remind everybody to go to sportscontraption.com to get full podcasts of Dave Dameshek Sports Contraption. And Dave himself has said he will come on the show at some point in the future. We're still trying to work it out, his schedule and whatnot. So that'll be something. Maybe
it's a little disturbing thinking that maybe he's listening right now.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's listening right now. But,
nah, I don't either. But apparently it sounds like Popeye has listened to previous episodes.
Yeah, so he's the one, but it's always nice when you hear that.
And I know right now, like, my dreams of, the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game are starting to come into focus.
Yeah, because Popeye. Popeye knows Dave, and Dave knows a bunch of people.
Exactly. I'm very close now.
Yeah, it's impressive. Well, James Brown and Yarmer Yager. We established that.
That is true. But James Brown's dead.
But in the final minutes of the show here, we should update everybody on, of course, our fantasy football league. You were mocking my team Cham.
Well, not Manning.
Yeah, because my boy Peyton Manning went out on Thursday and lit up the Saints. What'd you think of that, huh?
Yeah, I mean, well, when you draft Peyton Manning, that's what you expect. Let's see what Fred Taylor does tomorrow. Okay, yeah, let's see what the rest of Cham does. We all know Manning's going to be worth 30, 35, but when the rest of the team's only worth 30, 35, you're in trouble.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Oh, hey, I think we have another caller on the line now, real quick.
Another caller?
Zippy, you know everybody.
Hey, Dolly J.
Hey, Zippy.
Yeah, I tuned in for some winging it, and instead you had like a real radio show.
Yeah, it was Zip was going to call in and chat with us if we had too much time left over. And here, Popeye, we talked Popeye the whole hour, so
that's impressive.
You kind of got bumped. But
that's fine. But I was amazed too because when Popeye's on, being the producer, there's no technical difficulties today. Which
no,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was relieved at that. We've been having a horrible run of technical difficulties, but thankfully with Popeye here, no trouble. Now, Zippy, you're a big Sports Contraption fan.
Oh, I love Sports Contraption.
What was it like hearing Popeye on the air again?
Oh, it was great. It's good to hear Popeye stop by and be in contact. I wish they were still on the radio from 7 to 10 every evening.
Yeah, there's a big void in the evening without the...
There really is.
But you got this.
Yeah, we got this debacle of a radio show. But Zip, doesn't it seem like it's been off the air like a year or so, and it's only been 2 months?
It seems at least like a decade.
Yeah.
I look back, and it's like, I can't believe it. It was only here and gone. It was like, it was on for 7 years, and off for 10 years. It's horrible.
Yeah, I think what did Popeye say? Only 60 episodes or something.
Yeah, I can't believe that. It seems like much more.
But Zip, one of the reasons you wanted to call in tonight, Zip, was we're going to put this up on the website later. But you got some eBay auctions going on.
Oh, I'm eBaying. I'm selling off everything.
Yeah, you're selling all your earthly possessions. And,
everything.
I'll post something on the site about it later tonight with links where you can bid on official Zippy merchandise. Now, Zippy, what are some of the items you have up for bid?
Oh, wow. You can Adam Graves jersey, New York Rangers jersey, a Timu Solani, Winnipeg Jets jersey. That's good stuff.
Does it have the Goals for Kids patch on it?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh,
yeah, that's the only unfortunate part of it. Otherwise, just like it's all classic, mid-'90s hockey jerseys. Sean Burke, you can get yourself a whale jersey. Oh, beautiful stuff.
Hey, I should mention the live feed is going to end right now, but get the podcast and you can hear the rest of the show. All right. Now, Zip, so you're going to put all these items up for bid on eBay. We'll post them on LCS so listeners and readers of LCS can bid on official Zippy merchandise.
Oh, exactly. It'll ship anywhere in the world, no problem. As long as you're paying for it, I ain't paying for nothing. I'm receiving for nothing, that's for sure. But you want it to Sweden, you want it to, I don't care which state, which country it is.
And, of course, all the money raised will be donated to charity, right, Zip?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. After, of course, you take a big cut of that for coordinating this great, charity auction. There's a lot of expenses you paid.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Zip got in on our Dynasty LCS Hockey Fantasy Hockey Dynasty League, right? Zip, you signed up for that.
Yeah.
It's a keeper league where you keep your entire roster from season to season.
Keep it all. It's going to be exciting, I think.
Now, Jerry, we have one spot available left in the league. Do you want in, buddy?
No, I don't want it.
Okay. But
good,
maybe
we don't want you.
Maybe this will change your mind. Some of the other teams in the league, we have teams from Sweden, Finland, and Hong Kong are in the league. Does that tempt you at all?
No, I definitely don't want in.
All right. Well, like I said, we have one spot available in the league, so if one of our listeners would like to get in on it, just send an email to us at radioshow@lcshockey.com and just say you'd like to get in on the Dynasty Fantasy League. We're actually planning on having our draft next Sunday at, I think 10 a.m. That is crazy. But
you get to go from wherever, Japan and wherever it is, all around the world. I think we make them stay up late because then we'll draft really bad teams. They're all sleepy.
10 a.m. I'm just getting in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll do that next Sunday. So I'm sure we'll recap that draft on next Sunday's show.
Yeah, we need someone from a different country then. So it's limited. If you're in the U.S., forget it. We need someone from some really strange country.
Yeah, I'd like to get at least one more foreigner in this league.
Yeah,
be nice. So if you want in on the Dynasty action there, radio show at lcshockey.com. Let us know. One spot available. And like I said, we want to draft next Sunday. So, all right. Well, I think that's about it for the night. Zippy, thanks for calling in, buddy. And we'll get those eBay auctions up on the site.
Oh yeah. Well, congratulations on the great show, and it was pretty good stuff there. Hope there's some more Ed bits coming in the future.
Yeah, we'll try and do another Ed recreation here shortly. And like I said, we're going to try and have Dave on the show at some point. And,
oh my. Oh
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
We won't let the contraption fade away. We'll keep the memory alive.
Yeah, so always be a cog.
Well, yes, I'm a proud cog in the Sports Contraption. And once again, go to sportscontraption.com for podcasts. And we'll have all the Popeye pictures and audio clips on our site for you can relive the magic. All right, Jared, I guess that's about it, buddy. You can go ahead and wrap this up.
All right, be sure and check out lcshockey.com, the #1 hockey site on the land. Over at MySpace, we got LCS Hockey over there. If you want to email this show, radioshow@lcshockey.com. We also want to thank Popeye for being a great guest tonight and filling up a whole hour, which is usually crap, but he actually made it entertaining tonight, so thanks to him. And we'll be back again tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We're going to talk about, winging it.
Yes.
Probably football and, just a lot of winging it. So, till tomorrow, 7 o'clock, pass the gin, Governor.
Thank you very much.